Pop in, say hi. If you've never come into one of my lives before, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And I am sitting amidst so much stuff, like so much stuff. Um, in general, my little apartment, I think I have outgrown, and it is time to move in to somewheres that it can accommodate the space for the beautiful things that I pick up. I really seriously have to put some donation bags together and take them to work with me because again I have so much. I meant to do the clothes. I still haven't done the clothes yet, right? And I just bought another big piece. It wasn't intended. My sister was having a garage sale, and she asked me if I would lend her my folding table. You know those old folding tables from like the 70s with metal ones? They're so handy dandy to have. And one came across work. I paid $50 for it. It was absolutely just cool. Even the vinyl from the 70s was really cool. And it was in perfect shape. And I lent it to my sister for a garage sale, and she destroyed it. Not a big deal. Like she slit it with a knife or something, and she scraped the paint off of the table. But I really liked having that table. I did get some use out of it when I had company because I didn't have a dinner table at the time. I do now. Again, right? We're adding things into the apartment, so I have to make sure that just as much of what comes in leaves the house. I am good. There are a couple of pieces that I need. I'd like to replace the courier cabinet that I have now for my smalls. I've got I have to say I probably have a couple of hundred smalls now. And I've been meaning to clean and organize that lately, but I actually just got rid of two shelves of stuff. I put them in two recycle bags. A lady bought something off of me. So I just gave her the whole two shelves because she said it was her birthday. It was a bonus. And what was I going to do with it, right? So I gave it all to her. And then she messaged me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." I made her day in that. But I am cluttered, you guys. I feel that, I don't like to be cluttered. Um, Number one, it makes a lot of work. It makes a lot of dusting, just being an eclectic, right? And having a cat with the cat litter box. But I've got an air conditioner here. I got my mop and pail here. I got all my electrical cords sitting in a big container on its own. All my staff charges. I'll feel better when the staff charges are put away. I do. I will feel better. I won't feel so claustrophobic. And I've got a big picture here. It's show and tell tonight, you guys. Hello, Owen. Hello, Andrew. Hello, anybody else out there who's going to join us tonight. This is a show we do every week, every Sunday, but every second Sunday we do a show and tell. Because if you don't know, I do work in a little thrift store, and that's what puts the roof over my head in the moment. And I love this job, and I shine in this job, and we have built up such a community. And I think, it's all reciprocal in the end, when you light somebody else's day up, or you pull somebody out of a really sad moment, that somewheres along the line that comes back to you. And I do believe that because I feel it in my own life, from just all right to have my cluttered apartment because that means I have lots of stuff. And it's also right, I get excited because now I want to move into that place where, because I've got my office wall, I got a bedroom wall, and I got a living room office wall, right? And it's all in the same room when it should each one have its own space for decor. So right? And you can see even my walls are getting covered. But talk about that. Can we just take a look at the first item on the show and tell this week? I loved it. This one, I researched it. I recognized it right away when it came in. I thought it was cigarette stained because it was very, very dark. But I guess it was just the finish that they used in it because it looks like it had been framed in the 50s by the, what do you call that? What do you call that? Flour bag material, right? That they used to use in the frame. So it says very 1950s. It had some damage on it, but to get one of these prints, the price starts at $169 for this one. And, so I knew it was pricey. So I put as a tag, because I price things when they come into the store, I priced it at, I thought very reasonably, $22.50, right? Because it was worth it. Even with the damage on the picture, it was worth it. And it's something you don't come across all the time anymore. Well, I guess it's a very popular image. If you live here in Canada, you probably recognize the artist. But I never thought that I could own one myself. And this week we had a 50% off sale, and it was off of pictures and picture frames. So I said, okay, we're going to make some space on the wall. I'm going to be painting the frame, and I'm going to be painting the canvas, yeah, on the frame. But other than that, this is the picture that I got. Let's see if anybody recognizes. You guys, this is where I'm going in September. This is Ontario. Isn't it absolutely just the most this is, I'll just show you right here in the signature, and it's not the painting, it's a print, right? It is E.J. Hughes, 1955, group of seven. Now, I don't know if you guys can see the damage right here. Yeah, it shows up more. It shows up more in the video than it does when I'm looking at it. You have a hard time seeing it, but you can see it very clearly. See how it's bubbled right here? And so I don't think there's any way of really repairing it, but it doesn't matter. It's such an amazing, 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 amazing print. I don't care, right? See, I priced it and I wrote as is, right? Because people would say, "Oh, will you take $10 for it because it's damaged?" No, I took that into consideration when I priced this, and I only bought it because I'd never be able to afford one of the group of seven prints ever, and I don't notice, I don't care, and it's just the kind of picture you can see by my back wall. You can see that it's just the kind of artwork that I love. But like I said, I'm going to be painting the frame. No point in buying a new frame. The print is framed very, very well, but it needs to go with my decor, which is going to be like a cream shell color. So yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I paid $11.25. Right? I don't mind paying that kind of money for art that I love, art that's just going to make me smile every time I look at it, and that's going to look amazing on my wall when it's done. Okay, let's see what everybody's yibber yabbering about. Owen's here, awesome. Uh, as people are moving out of my apartment complex and left things behind, I've recently acquired an office chair, a tall lidded trash can, and a 3-drawer storage container on wheels. I know exactly what you're talking about, right? You're going to keep things all nice and tidy by having that little storage container on wheels, and to be able to just put your hand on it and just kind of move it towards you when you need it. You'll just be able to keep that off to the side, Andrew. What a great score that was. But also at the same time, it's really good. I'll be getting a new office chair this year. I'll be investing, or it'll be a Christmas wish, right? I don't know. But it is very important to change your posture up all the time, because you don't want to get locked in to a position, especially when you do spend a lot of time sitting in the same chair. So it's important to switch it up, even if you're just holding on to the bottom of the chair and then lifting it to a higher position or a lower position, because it forces your legs even and your hips to take on a different position, and it's good for you. It helps to keep you limber. We don't want to stiffen up, do we? Uh, Sadly, I've seen some way nice items just put in the trash when they could have been set aside for others. 100%. I donate all the time, you know, and also the donations, because we actually accept all our donations right at the store. It is truly incredible what comes into the store. Lots of times it's so amazing that we actually have to put it in the auction window. We have a Chinese auction we do every month, and you get to come in and you look at the big windows, like one of those great big department store windows at Christmas, right? And we have displays and little lots of items, whether it's a Star Wars lot with 50 Star Wars items. Like, there are certain things we consistently save, like Star Wars comes in, we put it in the auction room. And so every once in a while, when she's got enough, she'll put a lot, she'll put all the Star Wars together. And there might only be 3 or 4 good pieces, but sometimes all you need is one good piece. Like, you guys remember when my sister Alice won that Dragon Ball card collection and she bid $1,200. I absolutely freaked out. I actually gave her poop for putting a bid that crazy high on those cards. And the first card she sold paid for everything. It paid for everything, and she had 25,000 cards, and she thinks she's going to make $250,000 on the cards in the end. I mean, she's so smart that way, my sister Alice. But yeah, that's ballsy and scary moves, right? $1,200. Wow, right? I could put $1,200 to use, or I could put it into a pot to save for something big. Okay, so the first item in my staff charges this week, and this one actually, Antoine's Art Gallery, picture framing artist materials, and it's in St. Dominic, and that's all it says. I don't think it was distributed here in Winnipeg. It was just something somebody brought along with them, probably from Ontario, right? But it's actually a print. A Group of Seven is one of our most famous painters here in Canada. They are renowned, and they like to paint in the same, like, they painted in different styles, but some of them painted in similar styles too. But they painted the same landscapes, but by their perspectives, and yeah, quite renowned in Canada. And I was talking to a gentleman today when I told him I had bought this print, and I told him about it, and he said, "Oh, but did you know?" And I didn't know that fairly recently, one of the museums, I don't know what museum, he didn't offer up that information. He said one of the museums burnt down, and some of these group of seven pieces were totally destroyed. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit. So interesting, it's in my mind, so that I'm going to Google it and see if I can find out some more information on that. Let me have a sip of my coffee. I hope everybody had an amazing week. I am grateful that my work week and the job that puts the roof over my head is over and done with, and ready to have a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of getting on top of this clutter and getting some donation packages together, get them off to work. Yeah, for sure. I've got way too much stuff, way too much stuff here. Right? I mean, it's not going to last for like a long time, only because, um, uh, it's only another month and things will be cooling down where I'll be able to. Sorry, I got a little bit of flood going on with this air conditioner. Oh my goodness. Like I said, like everything's at arm's length. I'm talking to you guys and I'm mopping up this water on the floor. Oh, and yeah, whoa. It's it's constant. The humidity in because it is our rainy season. And yeah, I'm just going to do one more, and that should be okay until. Oh, silly. Sorry, you guys, but this is real life sometimes. Just okay. I think I want to do it one more time, just so I can know I can talk to you guys. We can have our show and tell, and not be worried that something is not flowing properly. Oh my goodness. Okay. That'll do that. Okay, I feel better. Obviously not, because I did it again. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Let's put it over there so it's out of reach. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. But yeah, I was all excited about getting this air conditioner, and it was so easy at the time. But it's kind of like, that buyer beware kind of thing. I'm sure I wasn't intentionally burned, but yeah, this air conditioner should have gone to the recycle dump rather than passed on passed on to me, because yeah, it's been a struggle, this thing, right? And I guess that's not really complaining, that's just over explaining, because I'm doing my live show and mopping my floor. Okay, let's have a sip. Mm. Oh, happy to be home. Okay, let's take a look at this. Comments here. Um, Andrew says, since they weren't touching anything unclean, I once retrieved some art books from the trash along with a book on Irish folklore. I was a huge garbage picker, especially when I first moved out on my own with my own apartment. I pretty much furnished my entire apartment with things that I garbage picked. I do remember, though, when I moved out in my first apartment, my parents bought me my own stereo. My dad was he liked his Technics. He liked, and you look back, it's like the 70s and the 80s and stuff, but he loved that stuff, and he was considered pretty technical when it came to his stereo stuff, and he liked to have his speakers, his many speakers, taller than him, right? And showing in the window so that the whole neighborhood good to see, neighborhood to see that my dad was cool. My dad was pretty cool, but yeah, he liked his he liked his stereo systems for sure. Um, I saw an appraisal show in which a young lady got an estimate on a painting her grandmother had given her. A painting of tribal people out west turned out to be worth 200 to $300,000. That happens all the time, you guys. It's a right. People worry so much that they don't have what other people have, but you never know if you just stay optimistic, right? What kind of things will come across your path in life. I have so many lucky moments in my life. Incredible moments where you think, how did I get out of that one? That was kind of incredible, right? I should have been fired for that. I should have lost my purse for that. I should have lost my keys. I should never have been able to get into my place. That should never have worked out. And miraculously, because I don't panic when well, I do kind of sort of panic, but you would never know it because I'm so systematic when those moments happen. It's kind of like when you lose your set of keys that you just kind of do step by step backwards until you've found your keys. That's what I do with problems, and when I'm looking for solutions, I usually look at the issues first, 100%. Um, Hello, William. I hope your week has been going good. I came in, made my coffee. I took in a lesson. I'm really delving deep into Neanderthals and into the relationships in those dynamic species, and I'm not quite sure. I know, right? It stumps me where they call, because these different humans lived at the same time, right? Homo sapiens lived at the same time as the Neanderthals and the Denisovans and the Homo erectus. They all interbred with each other. Everybody's got a little piece of everybody. It just seems to me it's kind of like what's going on in this world right now, where we're having a breakdown, which is amazing because we need diversity. And what better diversity than having relations and getting married and having babies in a culture that's totally opposite from you, that you would never have thought you would. And it's so acceptable in these days, and it's a great potential for us to recognize what a strong movement that is. That diversity is giving us an opportunity to move forward in our evolution. It is pretty neat. And I've been watching, right? And I'm trying to piece these things together myself too, because just of my interest and because of the questions that I have. So I kind of sort of search out answers to that, but at the same time, there's something else that knows I'm asking these questions, even though I'm not verbally doing it, because, right, without me even asking, right, these answers and these topics of in documentaries and in interviews and in presentations and in science, like the discovery in science, they found another Denisovan, you guys, and they found it a long time ago, like 2017. But government and scientists and stuff, how they don't release out any information until they've actually done all their tests and got all the facts and right everything all standing in a row, right? What is it? Ducks in a line that right? So this time you guys, it was a female Denisovan that they found and they kind of think that this Denisovan is got genes of it of Homo erectus and the Neanderthals, right? So they think that something, and this isn't my information. I get this. I closed the screen already because I finished the video. This is somebody else's lesson. What's his name? Oh, I know Andrew would just absolutely love. I could go into my history. That's where I can go and I can get that information. Here it is.
It's fair to say that the most common wall covering system today is drywall.
It's not that.
Most of the time, we
Sponsored by NordVPN.
What? There he is. I recognize his voice. His name's Stefan Milo. Super, super, super smart, but super down to earth. Like he's sitting here giving a lesson in a Mac shirt, right? And he's a family man, and he's so friendly, but he has this hunger for knowledge, especially in ancient history. And he's delving in and asking the same questions that I'm asking, but he's smart. He's figuring out the answers, and he's getting that information. But yeah, Stefan with an F, if you guys are interested in listening to his stuff. But yeah, so now they think that possibly in between the Denisovans and the Neanderthals coming into the picture, that there was another link. But like I said, it's like so much diversity today that we are not prejudiced like we were like even 100 years ago, that these diverse relationships are now right being realized, and in that there's that possibility for humans to evolve. But why don't we look at these other species that all lived at the same time? I get it. 23 chromosomes, 24 chromosomes. I get that, right? But when you look at a Chinese person or a Filipino person, there are actual physical traits that make them very distinguishable between, like say me, right? Or somebody with African descent. And so because of those differences, how come we don't call them other species, right? Is it because of the 23 chromosomes? Because we all have different parts of us and we all have different ratios of Neanderthals in us, right? So, and some of us don't even have any Neanderthal in us at all. Is it Neanderthal or Denisovan? Oh, I don't want to say because I don't want to be somebody who spews things that are not facts, right? But it's super, super interesting. Okay, you guys, it is show and tell tonight. I enjoy it when people find a valuable item or had one to begin with, but I still prefer working towards minimalism and not having valuable items. I love interesting items. I have items that have great value sitting next to items with no value at all. There you go. There's my $3,000 Napoleon on the second shelf, right where my finger is, right? And right beside him, on both sides, they're the same statues. are little resin Egyptian statues that I picked up at Dollarama like 10 years ago. And even one of them I dropped and broke the head, right? But if you know Napoleon, you know, right? He did we'll call it a tour of Egypt. He loved Egypt himself, and they just seemed to be super appropriate for there. So it's the story, it's the interest in the item, it's somebody walking in and just seeing something that touches their heart, not necessarily something that touches my heart, even though everything I have has a story, whether or not it's, oh, I love that. You can come home with me. I do that lots at work, as you can tell from the staff charges. Okay, one more sip of my coffee because I've been yapping and the cream has settled along the top of my coffee. So I'm just gonna take that off and throw that in the garbage. Okay, sip of the coffee. Last of the comments. In our youth Sunday Bible school convention, started last Friday and closed today. Andrew says, I hope the young people, that was from William. And then Andrew says, I hope the young people in the convention had a wonderful time. And William said, theme of the convention was who, me? Answering the call of God to adhere to his word and not the changes of the culture. Ah, interesting, William. It was our 57th annual Sunday Bible School Convention. 57. Oh my goodness. That convention must have been very interesting. Okay, you guys, staff charges. First thing for staff charges, because I was mopping the floor, that's where the water's coming. It cost me 75 cents, but they're big ice cubes, right? So they're for my cooler when I'm jumping on the road in my trip, you guys. $610 so far. And I haven't paid for New York yet. So it's going to be about $800 altogether just for accommodation for my trip. So, right, we'll be eating on the road. The first few days on the road are long drives. I'll be spending most of the day on the road, but obviously pit stops along the way and, right, pretty landscape. Yeah, like my sister says, squirrel, right? Okay, and I'm just going to put them in this other item here, you guys, I want to show you. Was my new big, huge laundry basket. The one I had was not working for me. It took up too much space. Like I said, I've been a little frustrated with all the clutter, right? So I have to spend some time on my days off making the donation bags. I committed to that, so we'll get that done. So that was the second, the pitcher and the laundry basket. Now everything in this bucket, we'll just put it in the laundry basket. And that way, right, it's going to be tidy. And I can just move the laundry basket for when I can put everything away. Right, which I probably do right after my live show. No, I'll be having meatloaf. I put a meatloaf in the oven. I don't know if that was a good idea, but it's perfect timing. An hour and a half in the oven, right? Hour and a half is my live show. And then I can have myself a nice little dinner, maybe boil a couple of potatoes but it's so hot, you guys. We're hitting the 30s and the hundreds. I don't know about you guys what the weather looks like where you are. I'm going to assume because we talked last week and our weather was pretty bang on the same last week. We did get some rain this week and we did get a threat of a really bad thunderstorm, but it bypassed us here, and but yeah, it's been very, very hot. And again, like I said, the frustration of the air conditioner, right? Because oh my goodness, I am mopping that stuff up constantly, and I couldn't leave. I've got the air conditioner sitting in a boot pan, and you know the height of a boot pan is only an inch, so the water can drip into that. But once it hits that inch, it's a good thing it's 3 feet long, so I don't have to worry about too much space. But I don't think it's much good for anything more than being away from the air conditioner being on for more than 7 hours. For sure, no more than 7 hours. So today was my long shift. Oh no, it wasn't my long shift. Yesterday was my long shift. But it was fuller today than it was yesterday. There's a lot more humidity. Okay, you guys, coffee mug. So coffee mugs will be in the donation bag, right? Think happy thoughts, you guys. Think happy thoughts, right? How can you not think happy thoughts by looking at that in the morning? A nice light cup, right? With a nice cup of coffee. I do like a good cup with a good inspirational quote on it. I have a few. I have more than a few. You guys know I collect turtles. Look at that, you guys. It was only 70 cents with my staff discount. And they're little turtle candles in a little container. Uh, I'll probably put that in my sister's stocking or something, right? But I thought they were adorable. Nah, I might keep them. They're turtles, right? And they are smalls. We'll see. We'll give it some thought, right? I'm always decluttering. I'll just remember if it gets to the donation point that it can go in the gift box. I keep a box in the closet, so when I come across gifts for my family for Christmas, I pick them up when I can. I get that opportunity to save some money, and I get able to get them what they want. I did get one of these, you guys, but it's going in the donation bag because I got a better one, right? To find crystals, so I can put the dirt in here and shake it. I'll burn some bigger holes in that. Not a lot, just a few bigger holes, just so it'll shake out the dirt will shake out even faster. And I think this will be perfect as a strainer. I have to remember that I have to hike up a side of a, I don't know, hill, mountain, for about, well, I'm not quite sure how far 1,600 meters is. That's a lot of steps. I have all my rock hounding stuff is all in a granny wagon. You know, those ones that are the grannies that carry to go grocery shopping and stuff. So I have one of those I am taking on the trip, and it's got my shovels and my gloves and my knee pads, and right, and it'll have my bucket in there, and right, I'll just be able to drag that up on wheels up the side of a mountain. It won't be any weight at all. I'm a genius. Where everybody else will have to trek their stuff out, and I'll even have a 5-gallon pail in my granny wagon to take all my crystals with me. Okay, so yeah, I got a sieve here. Well, I only bought this because it was $1.50, and it was so pretty, right? The frame doesn't work. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's an original piece of art, and I think it's really pretty. And I thought, oh my goodness, that was worth more than $1.50, you guys, right? Yeah. Actually, for me, it was staff discount. It was $1. There's the price tag, right? But what a beautiful little painting. And lots of times if I'm working, I don't make those kind of mistakes. I wouldn't have put much more on it. I probably would have put 5.50 or $6 on it. But still, $1.50. If I like it, it's coming home with me. I have something else here. I'm not quite sure if I'll show you. We'll see at the end because it's really, really big. Um, oh, I started yapping about it, so I might as well just finish telling you. Is I got a folding table to replace the one that my sister accidentally ripped, and so I'll be redonating that table to work too, and they can probably put $20 on it and get it right. But I got one even better, and it came with two chairs, and it's round, which is the one I wanted. I didn't want a square one, but it is a little bit heavier than the one that I had. I don't know. Maybe it's not keeping any more space because they're all going behind my chair until I get my new place. So nothing is even up on the wall yet, right? I'm just getting the pieces that I want for my new place that I haven't even gotten yet. This is the color of my kitchen. I don't get this blue very often, and this is the blue that I'm trying to go for. I have been settling for different shades of blue only because the blue is hard to come by. It's more of a periwinkle or a very light sky blue. So this one cost me uh, $1.25 with my staff discount, and it's got a great rubber bottoms, great little mixing bowl. I'll probably use it as a cereal bowl. I like porridge. That's that's my breakfast. I don't know if anybody else out there likes porridge, but I really really like porridge. So I got a bowl. It cost me $1.25. Um, oh, oh. Okay, a hair squeegee, right? I always like the hair squeegees. I wear them all the time. It's natural. I'm never doing facelifts, that's just not my thing. I am who I am. In fact, I didn't even do my hair or anything when I came into my live, and when I hit that live button for my thumbnail, I went, "Oh my goodness, rat woman Cindy." And I came into my live, right? But I couldn't be any more late than I was. I took that time to make myself a cup of coffee. But while I was making a cup of coffee, I was coming in here and setting up the live and mopping up the water, right? So I got another mug here. You're about to be schooled. I looked at that and I said, "Oh my goodness, Cindy, that cup can go home with you." You might not think it's inspirational, but it is inspirational. It is 100%. We're just gonna put it in my laundry basket. So for my trip in September, you guys, I got it all set up here. I've got each date for each campsite, the name of the campsite, how far it is from its previous destination. So my first campsite is 470 kilometers from here, and so I wanted to make sure because I understand that if you're going 100 kilometers an hour, right, that's an hour. So if it's 470 kilometers, you're looking at about a 5 hour drive. And then I looked with Google Maps because I love Google Maps, you guys. I went into Google Maps, and right, Cindy's such a great guesstimator because it was 5 hours and 15 minutes to my first provincial park. I think that park was the only park that I didn't get the true campsite that I wanted, but it was on my list. But it was good I didn't get that one because it made me go, "Oh no, I'm going to miss all my other ones," because I spent quite a bit of time picking my camp spots. I have no idea how good of a job I did, but you guys will get to see every spot that I picked, right? So you guys can be the judge whether or not I did good job. So this book here, it cost me, with my staff discount, cost me $1.10, and it's just a leather book, and it's all blank pages, right? But this is going to be my road book. This is the one that's going to be in the glove compartment of my vehicle. This will have, the date and time for each one. Of course, I'm going to print this off. I bought a printer, you guys. I'm on this. I'm on it, you guys. I bought a printer. I'll be printing out all these maps and stuff, but I also want to make sure that I have the timings in there. I want to make sure that I saved this because, I will be visiting these parks again, and I put a lot of work in picking my favorite spots. So I suspect, right, if I go to this park again, I could just go to the sheet and go, oh, what other spot that I haven't tried yet? And just try them all. I also want to put my sightseeings, my receipts, kind of like a little scrapbook where I can keep everything together. Is there a little envelope area on this? Yeah, so there's a little envelope area on this where I can keep all my receipts, right? I still have not gone through last year's bag. Shame on me, right? I pulled out the bag, I put it somewhere close by with the intention that I was going to go through it. It had all my receipts, my pamphlets, my parks and special sites and adventures that I did. Yeah, and right, I came home, threw it all in a freezer bag, and just shoved it in the drawer. So I don't know. Maybe I will do a scrapbook of each year and just do it consecutively in one book because I suspect until it's my very last year, I will be doing these trips. So this is my road trip book. So right, I want to transfer all this information to here, put this away in my file because I also have a file from that's where I put last year's stuff. It's probably in the file there. And yeah, so I want to make sure that that's part of the chores. It's not really a chore, but it is a chore. It'll be interesting, but that's the idea, that you should be enjoying whatever you're doing. And I enjoy reminiscing about the amazing time that I had in whatever I'm doing. Okay, you guys. Next, I got another one of these. I just grabbed it because it was only $2, right? With my staff discount, $1.75. My sister likes these ones, so I'm just gonna give it to her. I just couldn't leave it on the shelf, especially when I knew somebody else likes this brand. This is Lottie, and yeah, it's supposedly pretty popular brand, and this is perfect size for desserts or dainties. Or what about a roast beef? That's a great roast beef platter, isn't it? It's not super big, right? And the quality of it is very, very nice. The glaze on it is very, very, very nice. It's in new condition. So it was only $1.75. I grabbed it. I'll give it to my sister. Okay, what do I got here? Oh, I got a few of these. You guys know that I cleaned up all the gift cards. They were such a mess. We lost one of our girls, and none of us have been cleaning that sections that she left. It was something like she liked to own over. With me, that's just boring. I just like, next project, next. This is the way I am. But she likes to flake out, just zen out, and do a magnificent job for 2 hours on a section. So we never had to worry about the gift card section, but I had to redo it. It was in such bad shape. And obviously in that process I found a few gift cards. So I grabbed them. I have a shoebox and I put them in the shoebox, and I get use out of those cards every time a friend or my sister, I get to go into that box because those were cards that just took my breath away, that I thought were absolutely amazing. Right? Okay. I did get some clothes for my trip. These are a pair of felt sweatpants for my trip, $4.50. I might even wear them for work, but they'll go into the laundry and I'll wash them. I also got a pair of good khakis because I like my field pants and yeah, so I got a pair of field pants and they got the pockets on the legs and yeah, they're really nice and they're like new condition. So obviously somebody bought them and it didn't quite fit, so they decided to just pass them along, and I was happy to get them. Uh, you guys know I'm on my trip. I'm in that mode. This is my new laundry bag. My other laundry bag was too thin, so when I got wet, and I take my clothes off and I put my clothes in the laundry bag, it would seep through. This is more of like a rain jacket fabric, so this one I think will do much better as my laundry bag on the trip. Um, in Ontario, where I'm going on this trip, I've got 11 different provincial parks booked, but uh, they have conveniences. They have showers, they have laundromats, right? They even have flushing toilets. And I think for a couple of my camping spots, I did I did pick um, places that were close to to the shower, just because my first few days, and I think it was mostly I did it on my first few days. I did it purposely because I got to get back on the road. As soon as I get up in the morning, maybe some toast and a cup of coffee, and I'm back on the road, right? I'm back on the road. The first few days is just a matter of getting myself situated in that area that I want to be in for rock hounding, right? And because I don't want to make long drives for the first few days, I tried to keep them at about 6 hours, but they're basically that's my long stretch, just so that I could get into the destination. People just think that, right? Somebody says, "Oh, you want to come see me in Ontario?" That I'm just jumping in my car and there in an hour, right? No, you have to take an airplane, everybody, right? And it takes over 31 hours, I think, to drive from Winnipeg to Toronto. So yeah, that's right. And I don't drive 24 hours straight. So I broke them up into I think 6 hours for the first 3 days, and then the next couple of days I'm in the area that I want to be in. So I'm just got short in between the parks. So there's only like a 3 hour drive in between the parks after that, just so that right, I'm going to be stopping every 2 minutes and right exploring. Okay, you guys, do you know what this is for? Let's see if anybody knows what this is for. I knew what it was soon as I saw it, and I went, oh my goodness, I'll be able to use that for sure. Oh, awesome. I'll keep that in mind. Those come in all the time. They come in all the time. Does anybody know what this is? Nope. Nope. Take a look. You guys, and there's two of them in there, right? And it's just with zip ties that I'll just snip those off. They're for balancing my truck when I'm sleeping so I could be nice and level if I'm on a slope or something. I just back up onto one of these and it will level me out. And they came into the store, you guys. This pair, brand new, right? It was brand new. I paid with my staff discount 60, 90 cents, $1.60 for these. Right? They're to balance my vehicle so I can be nice and level when I sleep on my trip. What a great score to have. I'll have these for the rest of my life. They're going to come in so handy, especially for what I want to use them for, right? Okay. Again, just to look at the cards, because this may be your birthday card at some point. For someone nice to work with, obviously, unless we work together. That's for one of the people at my work, right? I just thought, oh, that'll be nice if they could get a card for their birthday. I don't normally buy Christmas cards, but I thought this one was absolutely spectacular with the house, with the sparkles and everything. And the trees are all sparkly with snow. It's a really nice card, so I grabbed that. This is a blank card, because lots of times we just, right, want to write a quick note or you want to say thank you to somebody or show your appreciation. So I grabbed this card. I grabbed another birthday card, just a sweet card, happy birthday. And then for someone nice, and again, it's just a blank card inside, right? Just to say thinking of you. And I just love the orange. I love, you guys, I love orange. And then if you mix that orange with a nice glossy card, oh my goodness, you can't beat that. I don't know how this got into it. I was showing it to somebody, but it ended up in my staff charges. This is a tattoo. Maybe I'll go out for Halloween at some point. Maybe I'll go to a costume, right? Ball or something. But yeah, I got a tattoo. It looks like of a cherry blossom branch is what it looks like. Pretty, but yeah, I'm not sure. And that's the thing. I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff lying around my house that I'm not going to use or I'm not going to appreciate, right? Okay. Here we go. This is a Columbia dress. These are very expensive. I didn't buy it because it was expensive. I didn't even buy it because it was Columbia. I bought it because while I like the color, it's my size, and then I looked, and then I saw it was Columbia, and then I saw it was in my price range, and I would never buy Columbia, right? Right, I'm low income. I wouldn't buy Columbia just because it is too expensive to buy brand new. But if it comes across my path, used or secondhand, it can come home with me 100%. These are fabulous. You guys know how much I love this brand. These were only $7. They're probably worth over 100 for sure. Even secondhand, I would think they would be pretty close to at least 50 secondhand, right? But they probably were 140 brand new. They're pretty dirty, right? They even got rocks and mud and stuff. But these are Keens, you guys. And you guys know that Keen is my favorite footwear brand. So I'm going to put those in the bathroom sink with some laundry. And we are going to wash those and scrub them with the toothbrush. And they are going to look brand new when I am done. And I'm right. The tread is amazing on these. Like they weren't worn very much, but obviously they traipsed through some mud in them and then decided, oh, I've ruined my shoes. They could go to the secondhand store. Happy to have them, right? Because again, this is another product. I was going to say that I wouldn't buy new, but I do buy Keen brand new. Well, I don't buy it. It was on my Christmas wish. My sister Tracy bought me a pair of Keen Avalanche winter boots. I haven't even worn them so yet. They're my babies. So I'm still wearing my old boots, and I'll probably take my old boots on my trip, right? I'll probably take my old boots on my trip just so, right, I don't ruin my new pair of Avalanche winter boots. They're amazing, you guys. If you live in cold weather, where you get snow, where the sidewalks get really slippery. They have such amazing tread on them. There are no ties or straps, right? That you have to do up. So you don't even have to do anything except put your shoehorn in the back of it and slip your feet in like slippers. We're sending some good cheer out to the paramedics to make sure that, right, it's a false alarm when they get to their destination. You don't know, I live behind a fire station, right? So periodically they do come by. In fact, they even come, we get our fair share in this building. I live in a apartment building with over 200 suites, a lot of vulnerable in this building. And yeah, so it does happen. But where I can add a little bit, right? You never know what the percentage of them actually do turn around and go back to the fire station going, what happened there? That's like the 10th time this month. Something's up. Something's funny with that. No, that's just Cindy, that 62-year-old woman from Winnipeg, sending out good cheer, stopping her live shows to send out good cheer to the fire truck. So, yeah, super happy for my Keens. I didn't have a pair of these, right? Well, I have these, but the cheap ones, right? The Walmart ones or something, just bad brands, right? And I want to take good care of my feet. My feet, I would have to say, are probably the most important thing in order to keep me mobile well into my senior years, right? We got a long way to go, but I sure would love to be motoring around on my mountain bike when I'm in my 80s, 90s, right? That would be absolutely amazing. And if I take care of myself, right? You never know what the innovations are along the way, too. As long as, we always talk about those things that come into the world when it comes to medication and stuff, and they get addictive, and right, we can't cope with life anymore because we're so focused on these prescriptions and stuff. But there are great prescriptions out there that are actually pretty solid, that are actually uh, helping people to extend their life. I suspect that my father had some of those medications. I suspect also that my dad made himself a bit of a guinea pig when it came to the possibilities of curing or alleviating some of that discomfort that he had in his life, right? To each of us, our own choices, right? Like he gets to make his own choices, right? Right? It's like your kid saying, "Mom, don't carry all those bags. Let me grab all those. Give those bags to me. Let me carry them." And you're going, "No, no, no. I got them. I'm totally fine." And you're just like all hunched over, ready to drop it because you're pride and you don't want to feel like a hindrance or a burden to your kids. Like you take on that stripe. Everybody does it. I got some socks, guys. I'm just going to take the whole pile of socks because I haven't had any summer socks. I only had the bobby socks and they're no good for work because as I'm walking around at work, bobby socks just kind of roll underneath my feet. They're not very good. They're cute. They're cute socks, but they're not functional socks. So I got just some plain old black socks. We got a pair of mustard socks only because, mustard is my favorite color. Right? And then we got just a couple of pairs of plain plain socks, right? For that time just before, right? Because these would be perfect for my trip, won't they? They're not winter, but at the same time they'll be comfortable, right? They're good socks. So those are the socks. Oh no, they're not the socks, you guys. There, it's a brand new pair. These ones cost me 70 cents with my staff discount. And Champion's a good brand, right? So a nice pair of white summer socks. And this one is not winter socks, but I can still wear them in the winter, right? And because I wear a lot of these tones of colors, I thought, oh, you better grab those. So I grabbed those, and then I don't know why. because they were orange, obviously, right? Orange is my favorite color, right? A pair of orange socks. That's the only reason I bought myself another pair of bobbies. Shake my head. They can all be donated, you guys. This was $1, but somebody carved that. That's made out of wood. Oops, sorry. That's made out of wood, and they put it on a stand. They worked the wires for the legs, and he did such a great job in painting it. It really does look like a robin. It's just they just did it such a beautiful job on it. It's not signed. It's maybe it's signed. I don't know. I'll give it a closer look at some other point. But yeah, you guys know I like my wood, right? So I grabbed that. And then it was linen sale. So I got 2 pillowcases. I love this blue. So yeah, I got 2 pillowcases. They were 50 cents each, 30 cents each with my staff discount, right? 35 cents each with my staff discount. Really nice shape, really good condition. So yeah, and I like the pillowcases. Okay, we are not supposed to we're not supposed to put out glasses and stuff unless there's at least a pair of the glasses. That glasses actually have to be on the shelf with 1, 2. Better off to have, right, 4 or 6, but at least 2 of them. So we throw away any glass that doesn't have a second glass like it. This one I was not throwing away. I bought it instead because it's magnificent. It's an old vintage 1980s minty brand new condition. It doesn't look like it was even used, right? It looks brand new, and it's beautiful. And it cost me 50 cents. Cost me 50 cents. So, and I don't get enough of the blues, right? Remember what I said about the blues? So I'm happy that I'm concentrating on the blues. I was looking for the orange because I knew the orange was going to be difficult to find, but I got it. But because I wasn't concentrating on the blue, I probably missed out on quite a few things. So I want to make sure that when I move, that my kitchen is good to go. Today we had jewelry sale, which was 50% off. So I just picked up a couple of pieces, which were 2 pairs of earrings, a blue pair, and this little orange. They look like huckleberries to me. If you guys know what, well, that's what they look like. But they look exactly like huckleberries. And my mother would send us out to Stanley Park. We lived in Vancouver at the time. My mother would send us out to Stanley Park with our ice cream pail. And she'd go, fill it up and I'll make pies. We would never, ever be able to fill up a container of huckleberries because those, like, they were smaller than my baby finger, those huckleberries. But man, did we love huckleberry pie. She was lucky that way to have the kids because when she said go get pears, we'd be down the back alleys, go get cherries, go get peaches, go get apples. Like we lived in Vancouver, all that stuff grew abundantly and deliciously. And so my mother would only have to invest in the sugar and in the flour. And we always, at the very least, had beautiful desserts, right? So that was the jewelry along with this brooch that I bought. It was so pretty. So I decided, and this was 70 cents with my dad staff discount. It's so pretty. What a beautiful brooch. Yeah, so I got that brooch too. And the last thing, you guys. The last thing. It's a hammer. for my rock hounding. I'm still looking for a rock chisel. I've got chisels, but they are wood chisels, and I'll probably chip them out trying to go for rocks. But I also got one cold chisel too, which is good for rocks, but it's a small chisel. It's not one of those great big ones that I can just whack with the hammer. I'm going to have to go ooh, 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 all soft and gentle, right? Not to break my crystals. You guys, we're gonna have an amazing trip. I'm working hard on it because that's my creation. That's my baby, and that's my vacation, right? That's my vacation. But at the same time, I want to make sure that there's lots of adventures for all of us, right? That now that I know how to edit my videos, know what I did wrong when I was trying to download videos so that I could edit it into my editing program. Got that sorted out. But that's what it is, like in that practice and in making those mistakes and in fumbling along, right? That's when we can get an idea of what we're getting wrong, and then all we need is one time of getting it right or getting it close to right, and that will just bring out determination and that that confidence that you can remember, right? Yeah. Okay, let's see what's going on. I just gotta keep playing with two different my mouse here, one for my PC and one for my laptop. I have to get on my next goal list. I have to get a new PC, you guys. My Windows 10 is becoming defunct. And I have I still have a year or just over a year with my Windows 10, but I'm not going to get any more updates on it or anything. And I knew it was time for a laptop even before, or a PC, even before I got my laptop. But I'm so grateful that I got my laptop first. And it was fluky how I got my laptop. But also at the same time, it made it possible that we were able to post our Ontario trips. In doing these 54 powerful words, I have been able to go live every single day and do my live shows, right? With my laptop. Yeah, it's been working out really, really well for me. And it's possible there's going to be a 1 week span before I leave on my trip. And I'm trying to decide whether or not to take that week for myself in preparation and to get ready to go on my trip. Or do I do a mix of content that week, um, just on topics and choices that I'm interested in, or just come in do a variant of this show, Chatters Live, right? I don't know what we're going to do for that week. I know we'll do something. I can't help but show up, but I am leaving that following Monday. So it'll be this Chatters crew who will see me last. You'll see me the night before I leave. So I will be exhausted because I will be coming home from work, my last day for my days off. And of course, I'm going to feel guilt and shame because I'm leaving them on their own, and because I know what I bring to the table, right? I know they're going to have a hard time of it. But we're working as a team right now, and I'm putting in that extra effort, and everybody else is putting in that extra effort to learn the job properly. And there are opportunities for people to show themselves well if they do a good job. And if they do a good job, maybe Cindy could give away a little bit of that rain, and maybe we can just go down to a couple of weeks or a couple of days a week, and maybe I could take a couple of days in one of the legions or in a bar or something and do some bartending, do a job that also allows me to connect with people, right? Practice my social skills. Yes, still practicing. And here I am on YouTube every single day except for Saturday. Okay. Those cards are beautiful, Cindy. Uh, I've sent out lots of cards and letters in the past, but people don't write as much as they used to. What with email. And that's true too, Andrew. And again, my guilt to shame is surfacing because you write me the most beautiful, beautiful letters and I reciprocate. I'm one of those email people. Though on occasion I do send stuff out, but not like Andrew does. He has a passion for writing. He has a passion for communication and a passion for I guess that calligraphy that he's been practicing for so long with that pen of his aunt's. um Andrew says, I often wear compression socks, very tight ones, and the instant I have them on, I feel better. Oh my goodness, you are. I'm keeping my eyes open, Andrew. Right? Right? I'm looking for that deal for a really good pair. They come into my work all the time, but again, that idea of you get what you pay for. And it sure would be amazing if I could score something that might really give you some true comfort, Andrew, right? That's something maybe that you think is silly to dish out a lot of money for. Do you dish out a lot of money for your compression socks? I know that they are expensive, right? But I hope you don't say no to those compression socks just because of the cost of them, right? But I'm keeping my eyes open, Andrew. I often wear compression socks, very tight ones, and the instant I have them on, I feel better. That's right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't like to see that you're not comfortable, Andrew. That any of you guys are not comfortable in your own skin. Right? I'm so grateful. I say it all the time. I'm so grateful for my good health. But I do realize that I am maturing, right? And as you mature, those signals are a little bit more noticeable than where they were. Like, it's very rarely that I bend down to pick something up now and I don't pop up with sound effects. Like it's like every movement that I make when it comes to work. It always comes with a sound effect now, right? But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm getting everything and more, right? Than what I'd hoped for in my life. So I'm good. I'm good, right? I found that compression socks. Oh, uh, I found that compression socks are more affordable when purchased online. I can get them at a medical store near me, but they can cost something like $25 a pair. Yeah, that's true. And I've seen them with the price tags on them when they're even much higher in price than that, Andrew. Because I get them for my sister Alice. She likes the compression socks for work because she's right. She's a hard worker. She's an entrepreneur, but she has a great paying waitress job that she's having a hard time saying goodbye to. And she's pushing it. And so she's wearing the compression socks at work, right? For those of you who pop in later, we're going to say hi to Sharon. We're going to say hi to Robert, right? We're going to say hi to Kathy, who didn't make it in tonight. We're going to say hi to Dave. Oh, and Melvin, you guys. Melvin's not here. He pops into my lives during the week quite often. He pops into my lives. He's so happy about having his cataracts fixed. It was a great decision for him. We should be making those choices and our decisions for ourselves like that, because it does build that little bit of sense of pride and that little bit of sense that, right, you can do it. Because if you don't try, for sure you can't do it. But if you try, there's always a possibility. And if you get up when you fail and try again, there's nothing stopping you. 100%, you guys. And that is the truth. Okay, you guys, I am starting officially my days off now. I'm going to go check on my meatloaf and see how it's doing. I'm going to put some of this stuff away so I feel better in my living area, that I don't feel like I'm going to get up in the middle of the night, fall flat on my face because I've tripped over something that shouldn't be there. And there's lots of stuff lying around. It is what it is, right? It'll change soon enough. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Everybody, have a great night, right? One more here. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Owen, so much. You're amazing. Sadly, I've seen some very nice items just put in the trash when they could have been set aside for others. 100%, you guys. Waste not, want not. Everything has a third purpose in my store, right? Because person buys it brand new, maybe they handed it to somebody else, then they send it off to Goodwill, then we send it to home with somebody who thinks it's amazing, and then that process starts again. I'm okay with that. I'm all about recycling that way. Okay, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday. If you guys want to pop in, I'll be going live again tomorrow with my other show, Chatters Live. We'll be picking our 49th powerful word, and we'll be working on it all week. They have all been super interesting, and the serendipities in the sequencing of how they're coming to me has been pretty incredible, pretty amazing, and lessons in itself. If not, Instagram on Saturdays. If not, well, have a great week, everybody. Take care of yourselves.